The US is debating ways to help Ukraine. Europe has already stumped up quite a considerable amount of money, with a great deal more likely, including the frozen Russian assets, which could be put to use in that regard. Christine Lagarde has warned that there are huge risks ahead, legal risks, but she's also talking about the possibilities and what's likely to happen when it comes to economic growth. With me is Paschal Donohoe, the Eurogroup President. I first of all have to congratulate you that change of government in Ireland, and you keep your job.
I do, and very lucky to continue my work as a member of the Irish government. We've changed Prime Minister, but because of the arrangement we have in Ireland and the focus on delivering policies, the government itself remains in place.
So, I won't get too much into the weeds, but how difficult is it for you to represent the Eurogroup whilst there is also a Finance Minister of Ireland?
Because we've great cooperation with the Finance Minister of Ireland, who's doing an exceptional job, and Minister Michael McGrath. My own job is to focus on delivering the spending plans that we agree with in Ireland, while also then continuing my work here as President of the Eurogroup.
So if we look at the Eurogroup at the moment, what for you is the single principal concern? Because the ECB will decide on interest rates, the Fed's going to hold on rates. There is already the next semester's spending plans in place. So from the Eurogroup's point of view, besides the relative weakness of the euro, which you'll deny anyway, what is your concern?
Well, I think we should first acknowledge what we've managed to achieve within Europe. In recent meetings like this that I've attended, the speculation always was that Europe and the euro area would move into a recession because of how close we are to the war in Ukraine. We've avoided that. We've maintained a record level of employment at the same time. To answer your question, therefore, what is the main thing on my mind? We have been successful and are successful in getting inflation down, but we need to get growth up in the medium term. That's the main thing on my mind.
And Bruno Le Maire was here just a short moment ago, and he says to get growth up there needs to be productivity gains that would come, say, for example, from a level playing field. Now that could arguably, for example, restrictions, protectionists, whatever you want, on, say, for example, Chinese EVs.
So Europe has already said we need to evaluate what is the impact, for example, of EV overcapacity on our own engineering and car sector. But more broadly, we need to look at lots of different measures regarding how we can enhance our medium-term growth potential. It's about deepening the single market. It's about what we do with capital budgets. And finally, and very quickly, it's about how we use the budget of the European Union and national policy decisions wisely and well.
Okay, but when you talk about deepening the market, the capital market, you've been at this for years. You've been at it for years. Progress has been relatively limited. What's it going to take?
Well, progress on the regulatory front actually has been reasonably strong. And the way the European Union does work is we move in relatively small steps over long time periods and then look back over a decade and see what we've achieved. But we need to achieve more. In terms of how we're going to do that, the Eurogroup reached an agreement on a vision for the development of capital markets for the next number of years. Our leaders in Brussels at head of state level, head of government level, are discussing that at the moment. What are the steps that we can take? We can, for example, at member state level, better develop national pension plans, so it deepens the availability of capital, and then we can look at how we could have a common supervisory approach within the European Union to make the right overall decisions on the regulation and management of that capital.
Finance Minister for Europe, I foresee on the horizon. Good to see you, sir.
Richard, thank you very much.
Thank you for joining us here today.